Get a word in edgewise with Sanctuary of Reality, my comic review series. Time now for Cerebus, issue 207, the 7th chapter of Guys. Norman Kingsley, Reed's author and literate elite, continues his journey through Cyranist-occupied territory with a Cyranist guard transcribing his every word. As such, he's been giving the world's longest extended monologue, saying everything in 10 words what he could have said in 2. He speaks aloud his thoughts concerning the Cyranist regime, wondering if his monologue transcripts are eventually being read by Cyran herself. Kingsley gives us a great deal of insight into the Cyranist regime and how they took over the majority of civilization. But when he distills things down to the concept of women read minds, this term unsettles his transcriber guard to the point that she quickly departs, with Kingsley looking forward to his next opponent in this war of words. He stops by the tavern for a drink, taking notes, while Bear, drunk as a skunk, tries to explain how relationships with women are all one big game of chicken about who should make the first move. Cerebus, still sober, tries to determine what that has to do with why Bear broke up with his girlfriend Ziggy. They have a laugh, and Bear continues to slur onward about why he and Ziggy broke up, failing to arrive at a proper point, despite the clear-headed Aardvark coaxing him toward it. Suddenly, Mrs. Thatcher arrives, the sight of which forces Harrison to put out his cig and tighten up his tie uncomfortably. She and her guard sit with Kingsley, where she tries to address his delusion of women read minds. Soon, Bear and Marty, both considerably inebriated, find the smallest things gut-bustingly funny, which Cerebus is unable to get much amusement out of being sober. He goes over to Kingsley and Thatcher, but Kingsley's verbosity merely leaves him dumbfounded in a daze. Cerebus returns to Bear and Marty, but will Bear's awkwardly told joke get even a chuckle out of him? Norman Kingsley is based on Norman Mailer, whose middle name was Kingsley, the playwright and author. Dave Sim is a huge fan of his work, and as such, it shows in how pitch perfect the parody is to his dialogue. The art style of Kingsley actually references the work of caricature artist Al Hirschfield. He's done a lot of famous celebrity caricatures, so you may actually recognize him, recognize this particular style of artwork. I have to admit, while rereading this issue, I made the mistake of going down the rabbit hole and trying to read every single word that Kingsley says in this issue. And as a result, I ended up a lot like Cerebus and Mrs. Thatcher, my eyes spinning and my head throbbing. So be careful, because it's beautifully loquacious, but it's not exactly meant to be followed mentally. Kingsley is just trying to think circles around the Cyranist guards, and well, just little warning: if you try to read every single word in here, it can be a bit daunting. It's supposed to be mentally taxing, and it succeeds brilliantly. Just don't overthink it, and you'll be fine. The stuff with Bear and Marty is hilarious on its own, and is a great contrast to the rampant intellectualism that Kingsley brings. Next time, Cerebus meets the comic book.